All right, let's just jump right into the source material today. We're unpacking the Stoic art of remembering death. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Death isn't exactly the most uplifting way to kick off the day, right? But hear me out. Because what we're looking at here is how the ancient Stoics use this exact concept not to drag themselves down, but to completely elevate their lives. It's all about taking our deepest fears and, well, totally flipping the script so they actually fuel our daily motivation. So what if thinking about death is actually the secret to a better life? It feels entirely backwards, doesn't it? I mean, most of us spend a huge amount of energy actively dodging any thought of our own mortality. We push it away, we distract ourselves, we basically treat it like the ultimate taboo. But the Stoics, they were absolute masters of human psychology, and they believed the exact opposite. They believed that keeping the end in mind suddenly snaps the present into sharp, vibrant focus. It's kind of like turning up the contrast on your TV screen. Suddenly, every single detail right in front of you matters so much more. You see, our modern view almost universally equates death with morbid anxiety. It's this heavy shadow constantly hanging over us. But the Stoic view framed it completely differently, as focused motivation. They weren't dwelling on it to be depressed. They were using it as a highly practical tool. Actually, think of it like a battery in a flashlight. If that battery had infinite, never-ending power, you literally wouldn't care if you left it on all day, right? But because you know the battery's going to die eventually, you only use that light when you really need it. You deeply value its brightness. That finite energy is what gives it actual worth. And the Stoics looked at the human lifespan in the exact same way. Which brings us directly to Memento Mori, the Stoic practice of remembering death. Or literally translated, remember that you must die. Now, let's make sure we're framing this correctly based on the texts. The goal here is absolutely not to walk around in some constant paralyzing state of panic. No way. It's quite the opposite. It's the ultimate tool for valuing the present moment. By routinely acknowledging that our time is limited, Memento Mori acts as a mental filter. It immediately cuts through the daily noise. It forces us to ask, is this petty argument really worth my time? Does this traffic jam actually matter? It's this incredible philosophical grounding technique that instantly recalibrates our priorities. Let's use a super simple analogy from the material to really make this click. Think about a 1-week vacation. You totally know the feeling, right? When you first arrive on Monday, maybe you slack off a bit. Maybe you waste a whole afternoon just mindlessly scrolling on your phone in the hotel room. But as the days tick by and you realize you only have 2 days left, what happens? You pack every single remaining hour with joy. You wake up early to catch the sunrise. You go out of your way to try that local food spot. You make absolutely every second count. And why? Well, because of the set departure date. The finite nature of that trip is what creates the actual tangible value of your time there. Memento Mori is basically just applying that exact vacation mindset to the grander scale of our everyday lives. And that vacation mindset translates perfectly into another powerful perspective the authors highlight. Life is a rented room. Enjoy the view. Think about it for a second. When you rent a beautiful hotel room with a balcony overlooking the ocean, you don't spend your entire trip fuming that you don't permanently own the place. You definitely don't waste your precious energy agonizing over having to check out on Sunday morning. Instead, you simply pull up a chair, pour yourself a cup of coffee, and deeply, genuinely enjoy the view while you have access to it. You appreciate it specifically because it's temporary. The Stoics recognize that our time on Earth is essentially a short-term lease. We don't own it forever, and hey, that's perfectly okay. Recognizing the lease gives us complete freedom to truly appreciate the stay. So how do we actually put this into practice without getting completely overwhelmed? Well, it boils down to 2 incredibly simple steps you can apply to your routine right now. Step 1, wake up and acknowledge the day is a gift. Before you even think about checking your emails or before the stress of the morning commute hits you, just take 3 seconds. Realize that waking up today was not mathematically guaranteed. It is a bonus day. And then, step 2, prioritize what actually matters. Because when you actively view the day as a bonus, suddenly getting cut off in traffic or, dealing with a rude comment on social media, it just doesn't warrant your energy anymore. You naturally focus on your loved ones, your meaningful work, your personal growth. You filter out the trivial nonsense because you remember you simply don't have infinite time to waste on it. Which brings us to a final, really powerful thought from the text. If the hourglass runs out tomorrow, what will you wish you had done today? It's a provocative, deeply personal question. Just imagine that sand trickling down right now, because it is happening for all of us every single second. Does picturing that make you want to send a text to an old friend? Maybe start that creative project you've been endlessly putting off? Or maybe you just want to step outside and genuinely appreciate the sunshine for 5 quiet minutes. Memento Mori isn't about fearing the last grain of sand, it's about celebrating the sand that is falling right now. By remembering death, we finally figure out how to live. Take that question with you today and just see how it transforms your next 24 hours.